Hi, Global. All right. So this is actually our final assignment before we get to our final projects for this class. So if you've made it to this point and you've completed everything, you are so on track towards being completely almost done with this course, minus the last project that we're going to be working on. So this is our 7th online learning assignment. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going back to your writing from last week, and you're going to be making some edits to it. You're going to be revising it. And then you're also going to be reflecting on your writing, but also just the class in general. As you're going to see in this lesson, there's actually 2 pathways you can kind of take for this assignment. The first is going to be, I finished my writing, so I'm going to do this. The second path is, I didn't finish my writing, or I didn't even start it. So you're going to kind of choose your path based on where you're at. We made the lesson to make sure that it fits everybody, no matter where you're at. You are still working on it, and you're getting the opportunity to either improve your score based on what you already wrote, or get a score if you haven't written anything. So to jump right into it, again, just a reminder that this lesson is going to be due by midnight on Wednesday the 20th. Just a little kind of heads up, the following week, so next week, is going to be a makeup week, and you're going to have time to catch up on things. That does not mean that you shouldn't turn this in on time, just giving you that reminder that you will have a little bit of time to catch up. All right, so please just make sure you fill out the do now. Again, we like to read them. Swear we do. And then you're going to go into the assignment. So it says, choose your path to completion. So as I kind of already said, there's going to be 2 paths. So in the direction it says, below are 2 paths. First path is either you finish the essay. Path number 2 is you didn't finish the essay. So you're going to pick one of the paths and then follow it. So it says, which path will you take? Write your response in the box below. So if you finish your essay, you would write part 1, path 1. If you didn't, you'd write path 2. All right. So then let's say I am a path 1er. So I'm going to go through path 1 first. So path 1 means you finish the essay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Google Classroom and go back to that classwork section and open up your essay. So you would go back here, find your essay. Let's say it was in here. I open up my essay. I'm not going to show you somebody else's essay, but you open it up and you're going to look at the feedback that your teachers provided for you. So if I was the one providing feedback, I provided a lot of feedback for you, and a lot of it's good feedback, but some of it is like really nitpicky things like put a comma here or capitalize this. Other things are me asking questions like, hey, you should maybe include this, or this was really interesting. Maybe, though, you need to answer this kind of question. So you're going to read the comments that I left you, but that'll be in the next part. So you're going to go back, open up that. So then what it says, then click here to complete the revision questions. So if you click here, it's going to take you to the bookmark. It's going to take you down to path 1. So you don't have to do the path 2 questions. You're only doing path 1. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to read that feedback. So you're going to read the feedback that your teachers left you on your essays, and then you're going to answer these reflection questions. So the questions are kind of like, what is one thing you did well? What is something you can improve on? What do you think is something you could have done better? Looking at the rubric, which section do you need to improve on the most? And then what is something specific you will do to improve, because you are going to be revising your writing. Please answer these questions. As you'll see, there's point values. Those are like formative points. So they're still important that you answer them. Then you're going to get to the actual revising. Again, revising means it's not just like fixing the spelling errors or capitalizations. Revising is saying, I wrote something, now I'm going to change it to make it better. So you're going to have the opportunity to revise or make changes to your writing in order to improve and receive a better score. So if you got a 30 out of 40 on the essay last week and you're like, that's okay, this is your opportunity to increase your score to potentially a 37 out of 40, which is a huge improvement. So we're going to be doing this thing called the radar revising method. This is just a way for us to remember what that stands for. Not super important. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be replacing, you're going to be adding, you're going to be deleting, and then reordering things. So if you look at here, it describes kind of what that means. So replacing means like adding or like getting rid of and adding more specific words, replacing sentences that aren't really clear. This means like you should be reading your writing always. Read your writing before you turn it in. If you're reading it and you're like, what on earth was I even trying to say? That's a place where you might want to replace it. The A stands for adding. So adding in new information. I left this comment in a lot of yours, meaning like you should provide more specific information about communism here. Or, this is, yep, I like that you're saying this is bad, but why is this bad? What is this going to lead to? More analysis. A lot of the comments I left on yours is like, great, I see that you know what the document means, but I want you to tell me what this means to you. Why is this important? Like, what does this mean? So what? Deleting. Sometimes for some of you, I'm like, this sentence doesn't really make sense. Or if you're reading things and you're like, oh, wow, I said the same thing 4 times in a row. Delete that. And then reordering. I think for some of you, I might have left a comment like, I really like this, but I think it would actually fit better here. Even if I didn't leave that comment, you should be starting to think about, oh, does that make sense in my writing? If you're reading it and you're like, oh, what? That doesn't make sense there. Maybe try placing it somewhere else. So again, what you're going to be doing, and this is worth a test grade for you Path 1ers, you're going to be replacing at least 2 things, and you want to bold the new information. You're going to be adding 4 things to your essay, so adding new information in, deleting at least 1 thing, and reordering at least 2 things. So you're going to be doing that, and then your teachers will go back and look to see that you did that. So after you do this, you're going to answer these reflection questions. So you're going to be answering some questions about just how you feel about your writing. So how do you feel about writing? What is difficult about writing? Was it easier to write these? Do you feel like your writing has improved? And what could your teachers do to help you be a better writer? And then the last part is you're going to be reflecting on the class in general. And this is the last component of the lesson. So you're going to be answering questions like, what did you enjoy about this? What is something that you learned about that you really loved? What is something you wish you would have learned more about? And then just kind of giving us a little bit of feedback as your teachers. That is going to be it for the people who are following Path 1. Now I'm going to scroll back up. And so let's say you are not a Path 1 person. You are a Path 2 because you didn't finish your essay. That's okay. We understand life is hectic right now. So if you didn't finish your essay, you're going to click here and it's going to take you to Path 2. So Path 2 says, we get it. We know it's not easy to get everything done right now. That's why we're giving you this time to make sure you get it done. So the first thing we want you to do is answer this question honestly. It says, why didn't you do the writing assignment? If your answer is because I was sleeping and I just couldn't get it together, that's fine. But I want to know that, all right? If it's, look, I had a family dilemma. I didn't know what to do. I just couldn't get it done this week. I needed just extra time. Write that down, all right? We're empathetic. We understand that this is really, really weird times. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to finish your writing. So you're actually going to go back to last week's assignment and you're actually going to do it. That's the bulk of what you're going to be doing. You're working on the writing so you can actually get a grade for this assignment. This assignment is super important. So please, please, please make sure you take this time. We're giving you an extra week to go back and do the writing. That doesn't mean that you can't do the reflection questions, though. So after you do your writing, you are answering the reflection questions as well. And they're the same as I just kind of outlined for Path 1 people, but just how do you feel about writing in general and what we could do to help you, and then also reflecting on the class as a whole. That is going to be it for this assignment. When you are done with it, you're going to turn it in, and then you are sadly basically done with global history. All right.